everybody, and welcome back to rounds 5 and 6 of the Aus-NZ Combined Toyota GT86 Racing Series. And, well, a couple of things have happened since the last race. I had two dismal races at the Nürburgring and at Texas Motor Speedway. In the Nürburgring, my game crashed at the start of the race, and, well, Texas was just a disaster overall. So, coming into Monza, well, as you can see, we really haven't gotten to grips with the cars. So, in practice for this, I just couldn't seem to get a setup that way. Okay, I know we're on cold tyres, obviously, but you'll see as the qualifying session... Well, actually, we're in qualifying at the moment. You'll see as the qualifying session goes on, the car's a bit slidey and it's just pretty awful to drive, and that's because I just couldn't get a setup that worked properly for here. The more stable setups were very slow, and the looser setups were also very slow, but they were slightly faster than the stable ones, so I had to go with the loose setup, but that meant that the car was very, very difficult to drive. So we are on the Monza short circuit, which, well, obviously just begins with this sequence of corners here. So going into turn 1, well, we're sliding our way through there, just hanging on, and then we're pretty much just coming straight out onto the back straight towards the Parabolica, as we are still trying to hang on to this car as LOFT VANISH just makes his way by on the right hand side. And coming up to, well, this is currently our potential is a 51.7, and we'll see what sort of lap we can set towards the end. But as you can see, LOFT VANISH just seems to be able to brake so much better than us, and we are still a little bit out of shape. But here we are, we've got a bit of a draft from LOFT VANISH, and this is going to help our lap times. We're side by side going towards the start-finish line, and we'll see what the time is in a moment. We come across the line with a 52.4, and I think we'll go for another lap. We are still... Oh, actually, there's Simo Racing going by on the left-hand side as well. And there, as you can see, once again, still getting out of shape on cold tyres. So that's a theme that's been more or less recurrent throughout the season. These cars are very, very difficult to drive, contrary to, well, popular belief, because they are GT4 cars, and you'd expect a GT car to be relatively easy to drive, but these certainly are not. So coming into the Parabolica once again, we'll see if we can set a better lap time than we already have as we're sliding through the last corner, which is costing us a little bit of momentum, and we are just trying to hang on to the car as best we can. And, well, on this lap we don't have any slipstream, so that's probably going to make the lap time a little bit slower. We're going to come across the line with a 52.8, which is 4/10 down on our fastest lap so far. Now coming into turn 1 once again, we're still just holding on to this car. It's like bull riding, I suppose. Yes, I do mean bull riding. And well, there's cars going off in the background, going round in the background. So obviously they're struggling as much as we are as we go green in the first sector. So we are about to improve our lap times. Oh, and I should actually explain that at this round we're doing 2 races at Monza, so rounds 5 and 6. Now the first round you do qualify, but the second round is actually just the reverse grid of the first round. Now coming toward the end of our lap, we are 9/10 up on our qualifying time. So let's see if this bumps us up the grid a little bit more. We come across the line with a 51. Well, yeah, just a 51.4, I believe it was, and it doesn't even put us in the top 10. So we have a lot of work to do coming into the start of race 1. So Simo Racing, he takes pole position, followed by Colonel Lloyd, DADDORACER, Lockie Fives, TAIPANSAMURAI, Dark Racing 40, Shads, Metal Drive, Gesso, LOFT VANISH, and a few other people who you can't see because they're off screen and qualified outside the top 10. However, this first race, it doesn't really matter so much where you finish in this first race because, well, we are starting on the reverse grid for round 2. But here we are at the start of the first race of the weekend. The lights are coming on, the revs rise, let's go racing here at Monza. And, well, the car behind us, I think that was Paro or WOODYLIZARD behind us, got an absolutely amazing start as we're going by Jetto, just trying to find whatever track we have, and it's 3 wide on multiple rows going into turn 1, and we've already moved up to P8, and there's cars going off the racetrack in front of us as we're chasing down Locky 5s. Let's see if we can get around the outside. No, we can't, and we're a little bit loose, and there's, I think that was Metal Drive behind us running into problems, and we are still in the slipstream of Locky, who's trying to make his way by Wildcard Shads, who's just making a guest appearance for a couple of rounds. Now coming into the Parabolica, let's see if we can make up any positions. We're a little bit loose as we continue to chase down Locky and Shads, but look at how much they gain on us coming out of the Parabolica, and now the two of them have a side draft. However, they are still within touching distance, so 5th and 6th, it's still relatively plausible, and we are gaining on them as we're benefiting from the slipstream. Let's see if Locky makes a move on Shads into turn 1. They're side by side, and we're a little bit loose, and we hang on to the car. We're really struggling with this in turn 1 because we have to put the power down, and well, Locky's gotten by Shads, and now we're trying to get by as well, and we're very loose coming out of turn 3, I believe that is, and another car's gone off in the background, and DADDORACER, he's very, very slow, and that means that we go up into 6th place as Taipan goes up into 7th as well, as we're still chasing down Shads coming into the Parabolica, and oh, we're all out of shape coming into the Parabolica as we slide off the racetrack. We're almost in the gravel, but this is allowing several guys to go by as we slot back into 8th position behind DADDORACER, and well, fast forward to the start of lap 3, I believe this is. DADDORACER, he's off the road, he's sliding into the wall, and this means that we go up into 7th place, and we've still got Jetto behind us for company, and we're trying to catch up to TAIPANSAMURAI as we're just holding onto the car, and Colonel Lloyd, he's around, meaning that we go up into 6th position. This really is a mad race so far, and we're loose again in turn 1 as Shads, a very experienced driver, loses the car. And, well, it's just proving that it is catching out the best of us. Now, fast forward to lap 5. And coming into the Parabolica, we're all out of shape again as Jetto takes full advantage. However, we managed to hang on this time, and it looks like Jetto might have the traction. However, let's see if we can still drive around the outside of Jetto. Jetto, he's still keeping us for company. Let's see if he's able to get by in turn 1. No, it looks like he's going to slot in behind us. But then again, it looks like he had the opportunity to come back. And yes, he does go for the move. Can Jetto make it stick? We had the opportunity for a switchback, but we're still getting out of shape coming out of turn 1. Now coming onto the back straight again. Let's see if we can gain on Jetto, and it looks like we do a little bit. But because we were all loose coming out of turn 3, it looks like Jetto is managing to escape somewhat. However, we are benefiting from the slipstream. Let's see if we can try and make a move into the Parabolica. We have a look to the inside, but Jetto, he's just better on the brakes. Or was he not good enough because he slides a little bit wide? And oh, we're still out of shape in the Parabolica. That just shows how much we are hanging on to this car. But once again, we do have the slipstream now. Have a Colonel Lloyd behind us. He's benefiting from the slipstream as well. Colonel Lloyd, he's gaining on us. He pulls to the inside. He thinks a move's on. Coming into turn 1, he's very late on the brakes. Colonel Lloyd gets 2 cars in 1 corner. Can he make it stick? Yes, he can. That was amazing driving from Colonel Lloyd as we fast forward to lap 11 as we slide off the road again, and DADDORACER, he's going to take full advantage of that as he goes down the inside. DADDORACER up to 7th, and we are once again down to 8th. However, we are still within touching distance. Let's see if we can maybe get this position back. Coming into turn 1, we pull to the inside. It looks like we're going to go for it, but we don't. And DADDORACER, he slides a little bit wide. There was the opportunity there, but there's cars off to the side. It's Locky and TAIPANSAMURAI. It looks like they've come together, which means that we gain 2 places. And this is actually the final lap, and if we can get Daddo, we can maybe move up into 5th position. So Simmer Racing crosses the line, and we cross the line in 6th place. Now here are the race results. Simmer Racing 4 took race victory, followed by Colonel Lloyd, Dark Racing 40, Jetto, DADDORACER, and myself, finishing in 6th position. TAIPANSAMURAI finishes 7th after spinning on the final lap, followed by LOFT, VANISH, Paro, Metal Drive, Woody, and Locky finishes in 12th place, and Shads rounds off the field in 13th. However, he will start from pole as we have a reverse grid for race 2. And here it is. We're just waiting for the start of the second race. 15 minutes. The revs rise, the lights come on as we go racing once again here at Monza. And let's see what sort of start we get. And oh my goodness, cars are already going very many cars wide on several rows. And Metal Drive, he's too late under brakes, and somebody goes off into the wall. I think that was Daddo, and there's absolute carnage behind us. And we're actually up into third place after the first corner. There were calamities there on the first lap, and we might even get second place as well, because now we're putting Woody Lizard under pressure, and Shads is escaping off into the distance. That is an absolutely chaotic start to the race. As we drag alongside Woody Lizard, we might even make our way up into second place overall, which would actually be a class victory as it's split up into two divisions. We're still chasing after Woody Lizard, who looks like he's going to hold on to second place after the first lap. However, we are in the class lead as there's actually two divisions, and we might even be on the overall podium at the end of the race if we can hang on to this. Now, Woody Lizard, oh, he's too late under brakes. Woody Lizard's around, and we almost slide into the side of him, but we managed to save it, and we're up into second place at the start of the second lap. So not only are we in second overall, we actually are in the lead of the class. However, Colonel Lloyd, he's gaining behind us, and it looks like he's going to pull to the inside to try and make a move into the Parabolica, sorry. And, well, does he have the straight line speed to get by? I know he's certainly better in the corners than I am. And Colonel Lloyd, will he be later on the brakes? We're still side by side, but we've gotten out of shape again, and Colonel Lloyd moves up into second place overall. Fast forward later on in the race, we're now under pressure from Simo Racing. Bear in mind, I actually am still in the lead of the class, because I think all of my Tier 2 companions have all been taken out. But Simo, he's making a challenge for the overall podium, and we're side by side going over the start-finish line, but it looks like Simo, he's going to slot back into fourth place for the time being. And will he make a move into turn one? It looks like he will. Does he find the room? No, he doesn't. We're going to hold on to third place and the lead of Tier 2 as we get loose and almost take out Simo Racing. But that's just how much I'm trying to hold on to this car. Now, it doesn't really matter to me if Simo gets by. I'm just really concerned with the class win. And, well, we're comfortably in the class lead at the moment as Dark Racing 40 is behind us for the class, and he's actually 6 seconds behind. So if we can hold on to this position, we'll technically take a race victory. Now, Simo, will he look to the inside of the Parabolica? No, he still slots into fourth place behind us. But we'll have to see if he makes a move into turn one. We're going to try and cover our line and try and hold the inside into turn one. Will Simo make a late braking move into turn one? Maybe the room's there, but no, he doesn't quite take it as we're a little bit out of shape, and this is allowing Simo to gain a little bit more time on us, and he's just sitting in the rear view mirror at the moment. And Simo, yeah, he gets a run out of turn three, but he gets checked up behind us as we get loose. But he's most certainly in a position to make a move into the Parabolica. He pulls the inside. Is the room there? Is the opportunity there? Simo says no, but then we run wide in the Parabolica, and we're loose as well. Simo seizes the opportunity and goes up in the third position. However, we are still in the class lead, which is really all that matters to me, is we'll get the win in terms of championship points for the class. However, Simo, he's still within striking distance, so we might finish up on the overall podium if we can make a move. Are we better under brakes than Simo? Yes, we are! It's a daring move, but Simo outbraked himself anyway and put himself in the wall. So we are up once again into third place overall. But Simo, actually, he probably only brushed the wall, and he's actually managed to recover very well as he's already come back at us and is looking to the inside. Maybe, well, he's actually just going to drag by us. He might even have us before the Parabolica, but if maybe we can hang on, and maybe we can hang on to the overall podium. Simo, his nose is in front going into the Parabolica. Can we hold it around the outside? We're on the high line, but Simo, he manages to take the position. However, we're still within striking distance, and we also have the benefit of slipstream, so we might be able to make another move into turn one. We're in the slipstream. We're actually gaining on Simo a lot, and we might be able to find a way through if we're lucky. We're going to try it on the outside, which is an interesting way to go about things, and we almost had him there for a second, but we get loose, and I think this is actually, well, actually, no, Daddo, he's trying to unlap himself. We got very, very loose there. We're down into fourth position on lap 8. However, still in the class lead. However, Darky, this is for the class lead, and Dark Racing 40 goes up into the lead of the class. However, he's still within striking distance. We might be able to come back at him in turn 1. This is a battle for the class lead and for the... well, for 4th overall, and we're going to have a look to the inside. Let's see if we can make a move for the class lead. Darky still hanging it around the outside as we're just trying to hang on to the car. However, Darky will hang on to onto that position for the time being. Oh, and there's a car around. It's Shads, and Darky goes around as well. We're going to gain 2 positions. We're back in the class lead, and because of Shad's spin, we're back on the overall podium. Now fast forward with just under 4 minutes left in the race. We're in second place at the moment, and Colonel Lloyd, he's going to try and challenge this as we run wide in the Parabolica, and Colonel Lloyd is going to go through for 2nd place. However, we are still comfortably in the class lead. However, it might not stay this way for long, because the way that qualifying worked is for race 2, we had to go around very, very slowly to set the reverse grid positions from the last race. And because of that, it's thrown the fuel load readings out in the setup menu. And as such, with 35 seconds left in the race, it looks like we are going to be a lap short on fuel, which is absolutely disastrous, which means that we're going to give up not only the overall podium, but the class lead. And I was so disappointed. We have no option to pit unless Colonel Lloyd crosses the line to win the race, which I don't think he will. He's already started lap 17, which means that we won't make the end of the race. And this is an absolute disaster. We're going to have to pit on the second to last lap. And coming into the pit lane, you'll see in a second, we pick up a 10-second penalty. When it rains, it pours, obviously. So we have to make a splash and dash pit stop to see if we can salvage anything from this race. And that is so disappointing, as we've given up an overall podium position and also a class lead, also a class win. Now, coming to the end of the race, it looks like Colonel Lloyd is going to win this one, but we run off the track on the final corner, and we're in the wall. We lose the car, and we're spinning back into oncoming traffic, and we get flipped over and hit again. When it rains, it pours. Our car is absolutely ruined. The suspension on the back of the car both have 75% damage, and now we're going to have to limp over the line in 9th place overall. And as you can see, this car is an absolute pig to drive as we bury it in the wall again. And we're running out of time to finish this race. We're going to have to limp over the line at a very, very slow speed, as we're struggling to keep it in a straight line. It is crabbing, and we're just going to try and limp over the line. We are losing time to actually finish this race, but I do actually want to finish despite the calamities that have happened in this race. And here we go. Here comes Dark Racing behind us, who's giving us a friendly push to get us over the line. Now, here are the full race results. Colonel Lloyd took the victory, followed by Simo, Dark Racing 40, Shads, Paro, Loft Vanish, Jeddo, myself, Daddo, Woody Lizard, TAIPANSAMURAI, Metal Drive, and Locky Fives rounds off the field. And, well, what a weekend that was. We could have had an overall podium and a class win, but unfortunately, it wasn't to be. And we're going to learn from that, obviously, for the next races. Never underfuel your car, never go marginal on fuel. And it was just because of that minor miscalculation that we, well, lost a class win, which is very disappointing. However, you know what? In my books, if you have a bad weekend, if you have a bad race where you give up a race victory, there may be greater victories to come. And on that note, it's time to end. I hope you've enjoyed these couple of races from Monza, and I'll see you in the conclusion for this series, which is the final really epic race that happened for this championship. And that's going to do it from me. Follow the TCR Instagram for all the latest and greatest motorsport news. I'm also trying to be more active on Twitter, so it's @RacingTriple for the TCR Twitter. Or if you just want to follow me personally, I'm @MackenzieMusing. We need some new blood on the Discord server, so the working link for that, as well as everything I've just mentioned, is in the description below. And I think that's it. So like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.